Hey guys, just wanted to give a quick user testimonial on CommunityOne. So PokPok protocol has implemented this for our Discord channel for a while now, and it really works great, especially over here AI support, Spark AI chat. It automatically chats, and is able to onboard new users. And the coolest thing is that you can customize this to your project's basically the project's knowledge, and it's able to answer almost all the questions that we have. So over here, I think just a quick overview on how to set it up. So we just enable Spark after adding CommunityOne to the server as one of the apps and providing all the permissions that are required. The nickname's just for an internal reference and it doesn't really change anything, but over here, it's like Jarvis, right? And you choose the channel that you want to basically be one of the AI support channels. So over here, we named this channel AI Chatbot Help Desk. So it's obvious to users that, this channel is specifically to be able to ask GPT from CommunityOne on all the questions about PokPok protocol. This feature over here, Smart Listening Channel, is the other one that I think is one of the most useful, the equally useful feature that I think CommunityOne has. So this Smart Listening Channel, you're able to configure it so that it only responds to a user maybe after like 60 minutes. For us, I think that's what works best because it's quite an active channel with the mods being on almost all the time. So if somebody asks a question and nobody answers the question at all, after 60 minutes, CommunityOne chatbot will jump in, and we configured it to the main public pool, which is a general chat lounge that we have. So over here, in terms of the knowledge, so if you look at it, it only supports TXT files at a maximum of 5 megabyte, but 5 megabyte is actually a lot for a text file. And the document over here says, make sure it makes sense to a human, break paragraphs with an empty line. But for anyone who knows about how to customize LLM and how to provide the knowledge, this is what you can easily do, right? So I'm gonna show you guys basically what I did with our LLM over here and how do we get it configured in terms of being able to answer almost all the questions that we have that appears in PokPok server, right? So give me a second over here. So this is what it looks like. Basically what I did was that I took all the information from our Gitbook. I basically pasted it in. You don't really need to format it that much, but once all the data is in, that's where you can do some testing, right? And there's going to be some parts where you have to change it from the way it appears in your white paper to how you want it to appear or how it can make better sense to PokPok. So over here, I pasted all the official links, at the very end so that the chatbot knows where to get all the official links. And then there's certain data, even like in terms of tables such as one of the most commonly asked questions, right? It's like, what epoch is it? How was the unlock ratio like? When is epoch 30? So formatting some of this information is very important. And this is why I did in a CSV format. And basically, you can give some specific instructions that, when users ask about which epoch we are in, always check the current date and time in UTC against the epoch start date, and so on and so forth. So this is how basically an LLM requires very clear instructions sometimes. So when there's certain errors here and there, you should go in to look at your knowledge database to see what's wrong. In terms of the custom prompt, I generated this using another GPT, of course, and it's very simple. You can just choose a few, make sure it doesn't do stupid things, and then of course there's certain specific things that happen. So in our Discord channel, there's a POC trade bot that posts every single trade and every single option that is being made by our users. So typically people don't respond to them, right? So I also don't want our chatbot to start responding to POC trade bot for every trade that's being made, and then it will just mess up the chat. And because of this question that is so often being asked, I even put it inside the custom prompt and telling basically Jarvis, which we named it I love PokPok 3000 in our Discord channel. Basically this thing that makes sure that it is always able to answer the question. And because our white paper doesn't focus on a mini game as well, so I also put in another custom prompt and you can basically add on to this custom prompt up to 2,000 characters. I personally do not do this if X to Y beta, but when I get about it, maybe I can give some feedback. In terms of the status and troubleshooting, I think this is, at the very least, this is fine. I've not enabled it, but in the past month, it has been fine. And, in terms of the advanced customization, basically what happens is that each time a user joins, PokPok Jarvis or Spark will come in and send a direct message to this user and tell them, you got a question, you can ask me straight away, and the chatbot will answer you on all the questions you had on the DM. So this is basically just like the AI chatbot help desk, but it's in a DM format whereby when a user comes on, I've enabled it for a while, but so far it hasn't really been being used. So so before we move on to showing what it looks like in the Discord channel, I just wanted to show what PokPok is about in terms of what it looks like in terms of the application, right? So we just need to connect your wallet over here, and there's a hatchery, there's a pool, and then there's a farm. And of course, there's a great hall for copy trading. And what PokPok does is that it allows you to basically make call options and put options based on a 3-day, 7-day time frame for European options. And it can split up payments either through 3 days or 7 days, either through 3 equal payments or having a 50% upfront down payment, right? And it can trade in terms of the half size or in terms of full size. So thereafter, it shows you the order review. So long as the price goes up over and above what you also pay initially. In fact, once it's above the strike price, the mature healthily, and then it goes to your pool where you can manage your payments. And going back to here, and then when a POK is mature, you can stake it to receive an insane APR of 6,000% right now, based on the PEG tokens that are rewarded. And for those who actually are not very sure on how to trade options, you can always follow some of the top traders with really high win rates. And you can look at this, this guy has a win rate of 84%, and the next guy over here, the top guy, I'm not sure how many he has, but he has 13 out of 13. So he has really 13 win rates, but it's been quite a while since he has traded. So you can basically look over here and then, join PokPok in terms of making quote unquote options and trade the market in a different way, right? It's really options made simple. And let's move on to the Discord channel. Yeah, so I'm just going to show what it actually looks like in terms of its implementation in our Discord channel. And if you look at this, there's even questions like, what can you do with basically options that are out of the money, unhealthy, matured chickens, which is what the question was asked. You can see how this question is not you require actual intelligence to pass this information and give a proper answer. But if you look at what I Love Pop 3000 actually gave, this answer is that it's really straight to the point. So it depends on how your knowledge base is configured. But over here, it's being configured correctly. And it actually tells even, you can even add on, it's not the best outcome. You can still get something back. And there's also other things, that even when they ask a generic question, I think I Love Pop, the chat GPT was able to answer that, the protocol is always evolving, there's more features, and it talks about some of the future updates in the roadmap in terms of in how it tries to answer the question. And you see over here, so take a look here, and then people will start asking, when is epoch 16? And then it refers back to the file, it gives the exact date and time. And of course, there's other things, all sorts of questions that are being asked. And so far, the GPT has been, I would say, 95% accurate in helping user engagement and answering questions in terms of being the additional support, which gives really accurate information and in a pretty interesting way. And we also got users that come on and then try to play around with the bot, right, and ask them questions that they think that the bot is not able to answer. And then a lot of times, the bot is able to answer those questions perfectly. And if you look at the public pool, which I was talking about, so because it's on smart listening mode, the only times where the bot will answer your question is when you mention it specifically or after 60 minutes of smart listening. So if you look at it, even over here, so in a typical day, 24 hours, I think the bot is being called upon maybe 5 to 10 times in an active channel like ours. So they can even ask things like, which is more popular, PEG or POK? And POK hasn't been TGE yet, right? but because of the available information in the white paper, it was able to give an answer to what they think about, So even questions like maturity, whether options always mature at 8 a.m. UTC. So this is the answer that was given. And let me just take a look and scroll a bit further up. Yeah, so these are all the options that are being made. And yeah. Okay, so the last one, even over here where a Genesis NFT is able to get 10% of the weekly emissions, right? So then they'll give the answer depending on the epoch and the number of stake POCs. And these are the factors that affect the amount of packs that are received by the Genesis POCs. And yes, it's possible that it's 2 to 3 packs a day, and this is how they always answer the question. Yeah. So that's it. I mean, this video is really just a user testimonial. It's not really edited. Even they can talk about engaged users on the market. But I would say that this ChatGPT AI support Spark AI has really been very positive for our management of our server. And it's really about having somebody to customize the GPT properly and watching out for errors and then going in to adjust those errors along the way. And as and when your project develops, you can add in the data very easily. And that's how, and I really enjoy working with CommunityOne to get this app on board. So this is the video, a user testimonial about how you can effectively implement a ChatGPT using CommunityOne. And of course, even if you don't plan to do that, this is very good information on how well you can just apply AI onto the work that you do. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you.